it was a sitcom, David Spade sitcom. Just Shoot Me. That's what it was called.
Just Shoot Me. He's also in something that is an interesting name to me. He was in something called My Fake Problems.
My Fake Problems.
My Fake Problems. Yeah. Yeah, Just Shoot Me was what it was. Wasn't Laura San Giacomo in that?
Oh yeah, she was.
Laura San Giacomo was in that.
There's something, I don't know why. I've got this link in my mind between Just Shoot Me and news radio.
Right.
Like they're not the same show, but there's something about it. News radio is where the world was introduced to Joe Rogan. That was where Phil Hartman, when he was killed. A lot of, and then the guy who played the guy from The Man in the High Castle. He was the guy from news radio. The guy who was the actual what
Hawthorne, the guy who played Hawthorne. I know who you're talking about. The guy
he was in that. So there's something very, very similar to the setup of that of those two shows.
Andy Dick was also in news radio.
I'm sorry?
The comedian Andy Dick was also on
Andy Dick, exactly. I want to say, so news radio is obviously built around news radio. And I want to say Just Shoot Me was a fashion magazine. Like that was like the backdrop of the story. So we got Joe Rogan, who goes on to become like the ultimate news radio person of the next generation with podcasts. We got like the fashion industry, Kate Spade, but there's something about this as an archetype in terms of introducing like really kind of like what I would say questionable characters in terms of as their actions are as human beings and like, you know, the way they're showcased.
So so I think what we're getting at here is comedians as sort of handlers, whether they be handlers of individuals or handlers of the consciousness of their audience through the way they sort of deploy what they're doing, right? And so think about how many people that we think of as comedians have large presences informationally in the alternative media. We have Joe Rogan, we have Russell Brand, right? We had people like Bill Hicks, right? To a certain extent, which Bill Hicks I classify as a little bit differently. He doesn't reek of dirt in the same way as some of these other people do, but it's the trickster archetype, the Joker sort of archetype, right? I mean, you even have that very famous clip of Joe Rogan talking about the one time he had a dark DMT trip and he saw all these jokers or court jesters and they were looking at him going, fuck you, right? Where he talks about that as being like a significant thing that came forward in his DMT space, this jokester, this trickster energy, right? Kind of thing. I mean, it's easy to find that clip of him talking about it, and he's repeated it several times as he does all of his DMT threads. But yeah, it's interesting. The Kate Spade thing connects to a lot of these other weird suicides.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and I don't know how familiar you are with like the Tiger Woods connection with like MK Ultra, and like, you know, his father was in a Delta Force, who's special forces, and like the Delta Force was like being able to like tap into like the Delta frequency within like consciousness in order to do amazing things. And like there've been some really interesting articles or stories about like how Tiger Woods was created. And like, you know, I think there was a guy who was called the Colonel, who was like his hypnosis coach.
Yep.
And like Tiger Woods always like all of his best shots, he's like, yeah, I don't remember hitting any of them.
Hey guys, this is Emily, and you just watched a clip from episode 5 of Playing the Glass Bead Game. If you would like to receive this episode, instructions on how to do so are in the description box. And if you would like a complimentary episode, feel free to contact me at the email address below, and we will make that happen. All righty, enjoy.